What's going on, everyone? So, we're going to have a pony banking video right here. As we saw, Nvidia's conference was awesome last night. And then you have a lot of people that say dumb things coming in there like, oh, yeah, the 5070 is not matching the 4090 in raw performance. It's like, obviously, we know that, but guess what? It has GDDR7 and it has DLSS4, which the 4090 does not have. And if you turn it on, why would you not turn it on? You know what I mean? It's like, I'll come in here saying dumb things like nobody's not going to use that. You know what I mean? It's going to be available for 75 games already. And I guarantee you, before we even get to summer, most games are going to be having it. And every game that's coming out after that is getting the video drivers like they always do. So it's like, what are you trying to say here? You know what I mean? And then, this pony right here was trying to make it seem bad, but then wants to promote PlayStation 5 Pro nonsense from Moore's Law. And I'm like, well, why are you even bringing this dude up? He's no better than D-Batch or Nib on Twitter. You know what I mean? It's like those type of people to sit there. They're the ones that were talking about it's going to be on par with a 4070 or maybe more power. Like, they make up all this bullshit and just blah, blah, blah a lot. So let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to teach them a lesson. Because look at this, PS5 Pro versus RTX 5070. Why are we even doing this? It can't even beat a 4060 Ti. Do we want to do something real quick here, y'all? First and foremost, let's give her some Jensen energy. Let's give her some Jensen Zen real quick. This is only going to take a few seconds.
Very few people know this, but I don't wear a watch. And the reason why I don't wear a watch is now is the most important time.
Okay. I was going to play it. All right. So we know that the PS5 Pro has 16.7 teraflops on its GPU, and it has 3840 cores. We see this right here, right? And it's GDDR6. You're trying to, what, jump a generation and compare it to GDDR7, which that card has 31, but also with way higher megahertz clock speed. We're going to get into all that in a second. So let's go to the 4060 right here. 2310 megahertz base and can go up to 2535. Mark Sonny said 100% that the base clock of this is going to be at 2100 around where it's at. And let's take a look at the flops. 22 teraflops. You're a bit behind. Wait, higher. Clock speed, big time. Has DLSS 3, which is way better than that lightweight PSSR. You can't beat the 4060 Ti. Why are you trying to jump past something that in DLSS is going to jump, and DLSS 4 is going to jump in the face of a 4090? What is wrong with you already? Just by your title alone, like, why do you do this? You know what I mean? I've heard some things about this channel people say they don't like because it's just too much clickbait. And like, you could tell, it's like, and then this person, like, they'll be the type to try to play the victim or guilt trip you. Like they tried to guilt trip me because I said I did my react and they're like, oh, you're promoting your content on my page, so good luck. It's like, man, get out of here with that nonsense. You're doing nothing but clickbait. That's against their rules. And you do it all the time. You know what I mean? Not even post my link or anything. But all in all, let's go over here to the 5070 and let's take a look at some stuff here right here. So the PS5 has 3840 cores, CUDA cores, right? And it's not GDDR7. It's so hard to understand what she's doing here, y'all. This has 8,960 raw performance. 2.45 gigahertz to boost, and 2.3 as a, it's not just 2.3 megahertz across all the cards that would be evenly the same. No, it's also with almost 9,000 CUDA cores and 31 teraflops with that. GDDR7, 2.3 HDCP. With DLSS 4, multi-frame generation, boosted with all this. What is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Oh, hold on, no, my bad. You know what? The 5070 right here. Anyhow, 6,144. Still, you're getting blown out of the water. 2.16, 2.51. You see what I'm saying here? We can learn more about here. 94 teraflops of ray tracing cores, 133. By the way, the 5090 has over 100 and like, I think 20 something teraflops maxed out, by the way. It's fucking crazy. But like I said, GDDR7, you can't compete with that. It's just, it's taken just leaps past that. But let's go ahead and get into this video so we can laugh at it. Are we ready?
GPUs, GeForce, in a lot of ways, all of this with AI is the house that GeForce built. GeForce enabled AI to reach the masses. And now,
Well, do you think you're going to do a better job than him, the guy that's leading the world in technology and AI? They do way more than that, too. I'm trying to find it funny how you're trying to highlight and kind of like jest at him when you're nowhere even close to his league. He's 1,000 times smarter than you. Like, this is the funny part. Like, these ponies, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they want you to, like, find them and make fun of them.
AI is coming home to GeForce. There are so many things that you can't do without AI. Let me show you some of it.
Yeah, you're pretty much right about that.
You know how long I've been waiting for.
But you see what they're doing right here? They're trying to mock it. But what I find funny is it's $549, and you can build a PC for probably around $1,100, right? And blow the out of the water. Which what? $700, guys? How much do you have to pay for online every year? PC online is free, right? What if you wanted to get that disk drive? Let's say even if you didn't, 700 plus tax. What are you at? 760, 770. What? $100 for online? We're getting close to the 900 range already. You got to buy a game, right? Because you can't just sit there and not, you know, do anything. And you have to have a really good TV to make sure you want to run that. What if you don't have that TV? You see what I mean? I'm still trying to figure out how you're still even trying to bring these and you know, in each other's presence. Like it even deserves to be even in the 4070's presence. It doesn't, because it ain't beating a 4060 Ti. So
This. Woo, I'm about to make a
this is
name
nothing but
for
pony
myself.
nonsense.
Yeah, just make sure people know what happened here today.
You know what's my favorite thing about Nvidia? They advertise their latest GPUs with Sony IPs. That should say a lot about PlayStation. Oh, you don't believe me?
AI is changing everything
Do you think Nvidia needs Sony? They're over there with AMD. What are they gonna do to?
about how we
See
work
that?
and
See that
play.
shit?
Nvidia just dropped their RTX 50 series card, so is this the end of PS5 Pro? Before
It's been the end of PS5 Pro for PC. Why are you?
we get into the details, I want to show you an interesting thing I found out about the PS5 Pro. Moore's Law is dead suggests that the PS5 Pro can achieve 120 FPS in many games if their frame rates are unlocked. The
This person really believes this when they're doing like 800p or 859 60p on Alan Wake 2, and they can't even get. Oh my god, bro! See what we're dealing with here, y'all. They really believe this. You know how many games you're not going to even be able to hit 1440p 120 frames with? You are out of your goddamn mind. You're trying to get 1440p 40 frames on things right now. That's why they got fidelity modes in some of those games. You're trying to get 1440p 60. You can't do that natively. You got to upscale that. And your internal resolution is like, what, 1080p? 800p? 860p? You see this nonsense here? What are you talking about? Oh, but I bet you that 5070 is going to blow that out of the water and do that. Going to be sitting over there 200 and some frames. You know, that's just so funny because DLSS will allow the 4060 Ti to get performance. But I can tell you, even on a 4060 Ti, you ain't doing that on some of these games. Definitely trying to get stuff on Ultra. You know what I mean? You're going to be lowering those settings all the way down. And if it don't work, you're stuck with that fixed spec. Like, what is wrong with you? Why are you saying and promoting this guy who's just a bunch of, like, conspiracy when it comes to this type of stuff? Like, he's annoying. TCMF annoying, D-Batch annoying, Nib annoying. They're all a bunch of ponies that make up a bunch of nonsense and try to get you hyped around stuff that isn't real. Saying stupid stuff like this when we know the benchmarks you're not hitting that on these games coming out today. And that you need that bootleg pisser upscaler, which DLSS is absolutely destroying, and 4s are really just ran Sonic laps around it. FSR4 is running laps around it now. XeSS2 is running laps around it. TSR is better than it. It's a hard 5th place. Get spanked. What are you talking about?
catch is that Sony is pushing too hard for 4K gaming. He says if they'd allow for 1440p gaming, we'd definitely get over 100 FPS in most games. Crazy, right? Here's what he had to say.
The Pro can do 100 hertz plus gaming without a problem. See, people, this person showed me video. They took the PS5 Pro, and they just unlocked the frame rate, and boom, it was over 100 hertz. And that's with zero optimizations. This developer so far has not done anything to optimize for the shaders, the better architecture, anything. They just flipped a switch and it ran twice as good. So this developer told me that they have no doubt were they to optimize for the PS5 or certainly turn on PSSR, yeah, they could probably have here like a 1440 to 1600p 120 hertz locked console, and they want to try 4K more because they think they could just get 4K ultra locked at 60 as well. In terms of performance, that's the one thing I think people are underestimating, is that it actually does look to deliver quite an uplift, more than the specs would suggest.
All right, so here's the thing about Nvidia's new 50 series cards. People are seriously split. Like, yeah,
We see this, right? These are just like, you know, some... They have to use an upscaler. Like, you know what I mean? They can't do this natively. And you're not running stuff on Ultra. You're running on like medium.
yeah, they've made some bold claims, but not everyone's buying it. Let's break it down. 5070 versus 4090? Really? So Nvidia is saying the RTX 5070 can go toe-to-toe with the 4090.
No, they did not. They're saying with the AI upscaling technique and a frame generation that goes 3 frames per 1, you're going to allow it to be on the performance of a 4090. But in raw stats, obviously, I think people who understand the way cards work, that's not going to happen. That thing has 82 teraflops, you know what I mean? And just the performance that it has is nuts. They're not going to do that. No, this is what DLSS can do.
Sounds great, right? But here's the catch. That's only if you're fully leaning into their AI stuff like DLSS 4 and frame generation. Raw performance-wise, it's probably not in the same league. A lot of folks are side-eyeing this because, let's face it, under ideal conditions doesn't mean much if you're playing a game that doesn't fully support all those fancy features. And this whole frame...
What game? So when I get to 5070, if I'm going to the older games, do I really need older games to get DLSS 4? 5070 is going to be able to run anything with DLSS 3 automatically, which they all have. And you think all these new games are not going to have the new driver updates, which they do every single month. And they already have 75 games ready, and all the new games that are coming out are saying that they're getting it. Who's not going to use that, and who would not be getting that performance boost to get that? You know what I mean? So I don't understand this logic. Like, I don't get why people are trying to say, oh, but it's not on raw performance. Like, what does it matter? Why would you not use it and get that? You know what I mean? It's stupid, pointless comments. You're just being dumb to me. Not necessarily her, but just all the people that are doing that. Like, why would you not turn it on if you can get that much of a leap for that price? Just shut up.
generation thing are getting mixed reactions. Some people are like, wow, this is the future. Visuals are so good you won't even tell the difference. Others, not so much. They're worried Nvidia's just inflating numbers to make everything sound better than it really is. Plus, what about older games? If they don't support the newer DLSS or frame gen, are these features even worth it? And oh boy, the prices.
They have DLSS 3 and you're still getting those raw stats and GDDR7. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the older games are not going to be more demanding. Like, it's a pointless topic to really make it seem like it's going to be negative. Like, you're trying to do that, but it's not going to work because people are wise enough to know that, like I said, when you get that 5070, that's going to be better than a 4070. That can run all these games. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? That can run all those games, no problem. Like, stop.
The RTX 5090 is $2,000, $2,000. Sure, it's twice as fast as the 4090, but does it really justify the price? A lot of people are saying no, especially since VRAM limits are still a thing. Some are even looking back at older cards with more
VRAM limits are a thing. Does she not know that that with the new DLSS technology? Let me find this for you. This will have to be somewhere around here. I think y'all know that. Does she not know that it's going to be increased performance and reduced memory usage? And why are you even talking about the 90? That's like 32 gigabytes of VRAM. That's insane. But the funny thing is, even the 40 series, if y'all didn't know, are getting enhanced DLSS frame generation. It is getting a more increased performance boost and reduced VRAM usage. So you're getting compression. So for people with lower VRAM, you'll be using less and you'll be able to get more performance out of that. I'm just saying, why would you not use it? What are you trying to say here? We're talking about that bootleg ass pisser? You don't got no frame generation. And you got a weak ass AI system that's in hard last place.
VRAM, thinking they might just stick with those instead. There's this other thing. Nvidia's all about ray tracing in their benchmarks, but what about plain old rasterization? You know the way most games are still played? Word on the
Sony tried to promote ray tracing as one of the selling points of the PS5 Pro, and it's only a first generation. Nvidia is moving to fifth generation. AMD is moving to third generation or fourth. You're generations behind.
street is that improvements there might be pretty small, which makes you wonder if cards like the 5070 will really be that much better than something like the 4070 Super. At the
DLSS ray reconstruction is going to get enhanced aspects. They even said that there's even more aspects coming to enhance that. And we're going to have DLSS 4.1, 2, 3. It's only just going to get better. You think these cards are at their limit right now? No, they're not. They're just getting started.
the end of the day, a lot of people are holding off until reviewers get their hands on these cards. Nvidia's marketing is, optimistic, to put it nicely. Everyone's waiting to see if the 50 series really delivers in the wild, or if it's all just fluff. So, what's the vibe? Look, I'm not here to bash Nvidia all day, but let's be honest. Calling the 5070 on par with the 4090 is just too unbelievable. And don't even get me started on that misleading starting price. Now, the one thing that actually got me excited was that 5070 laptop they showcased.
Okay, I agree with that because that's what I posted right here. And if y'all didn't know about the stats, they're right here. You know, 5090, 5080, 5070 Ti, 5070 right here. 24 gigabytes, 16. But guess what though? You got VRAM compression. I had to bookmark that because I don't want to lose it. I want to go back and take a look at it. So I was like, let me like this just in case if I do other tweets, I want to go to my likes and make sure I have those stats because they don't have it up. I forgot where I found it. Man, I don't even remember. But yeah, I'm getting the 5080 laptop most likely. And I'm going to sell the laptop that I currently have right now that I got last year, which is a good one. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think it's on the level of a 4090 laptop, not a chance. But if it can match a fully powered desktop 4080 or even a 4070, I'm all in. That kind of performance in a laptop would be insane. Still, I'm extremely skeptical. Nvidia has a way of making massive claims, under-delivering and overcharging their customers. Right now,
You mean that's what Sony does with the PlayStation 5 Pro? With the failed PSSR? Concord? All that other stuff? What are we talking about here? You know, so funny. Shouldn't say anything negative about PlayStation yet, but it's trying to sit here and bash Nvidia, who's in a way higher league than them. I'm talking about way higher league than them, and their market cap value is insane, $1 trillion market cap. This is what I find funny. It's like I think these ponies, like we got to put them in a special ed category in the gaming industry, in the gaming community section.
the community's kind of torn. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out once the benchmarks drop. So apparently the next-gen Xbox...
Yeah, we're done with that, but...
$15.99.
Let's reminisce.
You get to upgrade that and turbocharge the living daylights out of it. Well, now, with the Blackwell family, RTX 5070, 4090 performance at $549.
He said performance.
Impossible without artificial intelligence.
Impossible without the AI.
Impossible without the 4 teraops of AI tensor cores. Impossible without...
Which PlayStation doesn't have tensor cores, by the way.
...the G7 memories. Okay.
And the GDDR7. We also don't have that either. Why are you still trying to compare them? So let me help you out. You know what I mean? That's what I just did. And just remember, when it comes to ponies, use Jensen's Captain America shield.
Per watt of Blackwell is 4 times...
This is what we need against the pony nonsense.
Our last generation.
Don't get infected with it.
Then the revenue that could be generated, the
Comes
amount
with
of
ray
business
tracing.
that can be generated in the data center is increased by a factor of 4.
You get reflection shields. Put the pony nonsense right back on them. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. As always, you know, schooling these ponies. Get out of here with that. Don't ever try to compare the PlayStation 5 Pro with the 5070. What is wrong with you? Yeah, you see, you don't do that. It's way out of your league. You gotta look way up at the sun, you know, and you're just looking up down there with something that can't even beat a 4060 Ti. I don't understand why we're trying to jump way over there. Try to get past that first. You can't because it's a fixed spec. Your bootleg ass pisser. All right, peace out, y'all.